Hello. I do hope that you're feeling quite festive still, even though the festivities are over. Well, they are. They might be long over by the time you watch this, but I'm recording this on Monday, the 28th of December. So we're in the dying embers of this most extraordinary and challenging year. And I am concerned, and that's why I wanted to kind of do a little, I hate to say pep talk, but I suppose that is kind of what it is. I wanted to point out that we may have a bit of a dip now, especially after New Year, although many of us will not be celebrating that in any rollicking style, I shouldn't think, this year. But we've sort of elevated ourselves, haven't we, a bit? And if we've been lucky enough to be able to see people at Christmas, that has given us a lift. And because the days are going to be dark and we've had an awful lot of rain and flooding and freezing fog and all sorts of things, it's harder, isn't it, than it was at the beginning in March or whatever, when we had a glorious spring, to keep buoyant. And I do think at the moment, although there's wonderful news about vaccines and all sorts of other treatments, um, most of us have not got the vaccine yet, and we don't know when we'll have it. And meanwhile, all the news is full of how gloomy it is because hospitals are overrun. And I think that a lot of us are having the sort of anxiety we had at the beginning but had learned to live with, because we are thinking, oh gosh, this mutation happens to be particularly infectious, and therefore somebody I know and love might get it. Maybe I will get it. Maybe they will die. Maybe I will die. All those feelings that I think we had processed quite well, I think are coming back to haunt us, and a bit of insomnia creeping in, or rather lurid sort of dreams or dystopic dreams, which perhaps we thought we'd wave bye-bye to that. So what can we do to just get us through this? It's a sort of like a last push, I think, really, because although the news is gloomy and there is a lot of COVID about and everything, the prospects for us all are good, and there's every reason why we should all get the vaccine and get to a point where we can meet up with people, even if we're still wearing masks for a few months yet, but just not be restricted in the way that we are. And I think it's just really hard at the moment. It feels quite grim to be this restricted and not to be able to travel very far or see people we love. So what can we do? I think a project is always good. I think I've been on about projects before, but something, a friend of mine said he was going to learn Russian, and I thought that was a jolly good idea. I think something, or a particular book you want to read, or if you play a musical instrument, tackle a piece that you've always thought, I'd like to do that, but yeah, it's a bit hard. But have a go, or knit something, do some tapestry, something. I think a project is a very good idea, because we are, most of us, unless we're a delivery person or working in the health service, we're probably going to be at home more than usual. But I also think that we really, really, really must make ourselves keep in touch with the people who matter most. Now, I think I've gone on about this quite often during the whole pandemic, but I think it's particularly important now. I mean, we do know now, we've learned a lot technologically, we do know now how to Skype, how to Zoom, all of those things. I really think, especially through these dark days, we should set aside a couple of periods every day where we talk to somebody who is somebody that tends to enthuse and energize us, and who looks to us perhaps to do the same. That sort of two-way relationship where you're always pleased to speak to this particular person. Now, reach out, go through your diary. Who would you really like to talk to? How can you organize it? Even a phone call. But I do think there's something about seeing each other face to face that gives us much more of a lift. And when you've had that sort of conversation for half an hour or even an hour sometimes, whatever has been spiraling in your anxious part of your mind, or your mood perhaps was a bit low, or you were feeling a little bit lethargic, shall we say, that does tend to go. there is something about that contact that really gives us a boost. And I just think that when the days are long, long, when I say they're long, they feel long because they're dark all the time. They're not actually long, I suppose, it's the night that's long. Um, but it's it's very easy, as one does less for some bizarre reason, it's very easy to get into the habit of thinking, oh, and I won't even do that today. I think I'll just give that a miss. Maybe I'll feel more like it tomorrow. So you can end up doing less and less. And I don't think that is good. I think what is important is to have structure, and also to, definitely go out to your corner shop every day, suitably PPE'd, obviously. Um, Definitely contact people, definitely have a go at your latest project. Make sure that you've got some structure in your day, because it is very easy to just go, oh, today, so grim, just crawl under the duvet. But I don't think on the whole that helps us. So I would say contact people that matter to you at least twice a day. Get out, get some fresh air, and just remember that this is not going to last. It'll be a while before we're back to what we perceive as anything really normal. But clearly there is good news on the horizon, but this bit feels extraordinarily difficult. So take heart, because it will not last, but do reach out and do make sure that those people that really mean so much to you and always elevate your mood are getting a good crack of the whip in your life, as it is at the moment. See you soon.